morning where we discuss beautiful, beautiful things here that enable us become better citizens of Nigeria here on ASO Radio and Television. Today we'll be discussing effective engagement that would promote trust between Nigerian government and the youth. Like every society, the youth is the bedrock and future of every society, and they play a major role in the development, unity and prosperity of the country. And a country like ours that has this much youth demographic cannot overemphasize the role of youth in governance. Now, my guest this morning is Honorable Ricky Nwajiofo. He is the Honorable Speaker of the Ndigbo Youth Parliament. He's also the Secretary General, the National Youth Council of Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so we'll go on a very short break. When we return, we'll delve into the issue at hand. Remember, we are discussing effective engagements that will promote trust between Nigerian youth and the government. Stay with us.
Babarisi, you been dey sleep when government motor show for inside area this afternoon. No, now so them take enter Sisi Clara house where dey the other side. They come out with some kind medical equipment. But it be like say she don't catch the coronavirus where people they yarn about. Oh, we self we no safe for inside area again. No, kai, I no go even pass that house again.
Mama Risi, haba. Sure you no say e dey good make government to check everybody where they suspect say they don't contact with people who don't carry the virus. You know mean say they get them now. Even if to say the person get them, it means say they go just carry them, make he collect treatment. If person get the coronavirus, you know mean say the person don't die. Person fit still recover. Or when they don't suspect say somebody get them, then go do test. Then fit even treat the person fast. Plenty people will catch the virus. After they collect treatment, then recover. When these government people come, make we allow them, make them test you.
This message now from the Federal and State Ministries of Health, Ministry of Information, NCDC and them partners them.
Many thanks for staying with us here on the roundtable, where we are to discuss the effective engagement between Nigerian youth and the government. Like I said earlier, my guest is Right Honorable Ricky Nwajiofo. He is the Honorable Speaker Ndigbo Youth Parliament and also the Secretary General, National Youth Council of Nigeria. He is also the President, Nigerian Youth Creative and Entertainment Hub. He's a movie producer and a lot of things. We don't have the time to mention all we have to in his citation. Thank you again for coming.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Now you're a young man and you work a lot with the youth. Are you concerned that we have that gap, that trust deficit, so to speak, between the youth and the government by talking about the agitations we often hear and see?
Actually, any person who is concerned about what is happening in Nigeria should note that there is that disparity, great disparity in relationship between the government and the youth.
Okay.
And then this has come up with some mistrust. An average Nigerian youth doesn't trust the government.
So today we can be.
We are trying to proffer solutions.
We would not talk about all the myriads of problems and challenges
Yeah.
the youth have, because if you want to go into that, we will not have the time. Exactly.
Sure.
So let's just go into how do we get to the point where Nigerian government and the youths are in synergy, trust each other, and understand the many efforts both are making to ensure there is good governance and promote the economy and development.
Yeah, like I was just trying to give a premise where an average Nigerian youth doesn't trust the government. The mistrust comes from the fact, not because the government is not doing enough for the Nigerian youth, and not because the government doesn't care for Nigerian youth. The mistrust comes from the fact that there is a gap. And that gap is caused because there is no communication.
Right.
The relationship is not close. The government is there, the youth are there. There is so much gap in between. Now, the first solution to bridge to bridge that gap is to have a good communication relationship.
Okay.
Government has so many policies, good policies for Nigerian youth. So many of them. I've keyed into so many. I've also brought in so many Nigerian youth to key in. So many benefited. For example, during the lockdown, the household COVID-19 loan.
Yeah, the survival fund.
Yeah, survival fund. I made sure at least not less than 30, 40 Nigerian youths got. Some of them didn't know about it.
Some of them who even knew just waved it off as to...
Because that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That there is that mistrust. They don't even trust. Some of them, anything published, oh, the federal government is about to give the Nigerian youth so and so. An average Nigerian youth will say, forget them. They have shortlisted their own people. I can't even access it.
And this is not just because of now, this administration. It is
no, it's not because,
it's
something that has been. That's what I'm saying. There is that gap. Right from years back, there is no relationship, close ties. The government doesn't communicate directly to the youth what they have in stock for them. I gave an example of that COVID-19 household loan. I took it upon myself to make broadcasts, so many of them. Even some people who were somehow close to me, I called them and told them, key into this, register. If you can't register, tell me, send me your information, let me do it for you. Do you know that majority of them didn't do that? I know about 3 or 4 persons that I had to call often. Please, the time limit is up. Give me your information. Let me do it for you if you are too busy.
Right.
Okay, I will. Later on, when some of my close friends who are also close to them got the loan, and then some of them got the survival fund, they were like, that was real. Please, Rick, if anything comes up again, let me know. I never believed in it. Some of them was like, I saw it in our platforms, in so many WhatsApp pages, but because this government now, not just a Nigerian government, we don't believe in Nigerian government right from day one. They will tell us this, they will do the other way. I told them, I said, you cannot, because past governments didn't do well when it comes to fulfilling their promises or when it comes to getting the youth engaged, you cannot, because of that, mistrust every government in power. No. There are so many things put in place. I know the Minister of Youth and Sports, Honorable Sunday Dare, is also doing well in trying to bridge that gap.
Right.
He has also kept the website of Youth and Sports busy. There are so many things going on there. NOYA is there, Nigerian Youth Online.
Exactly.
You can key in there, get information. But then aside that, some of us in so many platforms also try to disseminate messages. There is the Empower is for the Nigerian youth. You know
exactly.
At the incipient stage of the Empower, many Nigerian youths never believed in it. I know how many persons I had to key into that project. Say, please go and key into it. It's real.
Okay, like I said earlier, we want to talk about how to bridge that gap. How do we get to a point where Nigerian youths get to say, when they see policies like this, especially that directly affects them, they jump in, as you should expect any youth anywhere in the world.
Number one is that there is that need for sensitization, proper sensitization. Orientation and reorientation, it cannot stop. We cannot just say, okay, because we've put an advert, because we've done this in so many TV stations, Nigerian youth listen to this. No, there's no orientation. You go to grassroots to orientate people and reorientate them. You can come to them and then tell them about, oh, this is what Nigerian government has for you. If they are 10, 9 may not listen to you. That does not mean you've achieved your aim. You have to go back. That's why I call it orientation and reorientation. You must continue until you get enough number of Nigerian youth on your own side. There are so many policies that Nigerian youth don't know about. Then how do you tell me that, oh, I'm doing my best to get the Nigerian youth on the right track when the people you are working for don't even know about that?
But it also begs the question as to attitude towards these things. I mean, if there are Nigerian youths, more than any youth I have ever read about, are always on the internet. So it has to do with deliberate efforts to ensure you know when these policies that will benefit you.
The fact is that when there is a mistrust, when you bridge a gap, in my language they say, when the rope is cut, if you tie it, it doesn't get complete again.
Right.
There is that ontological mistrust between the youth and the government. An average Nigerian youth believes, okay, I can do it on my own. The government, they only sponsor their children, they only sponsor those who are connected. Now you have to orientate them and reorientate them to tell them, no, this is no more what is happening. The situation now is not for those who are connected. Like I used to listen to Honorable Sunday Dare. He will always say, no, it is not for the children of those working in the mess. In those days, I'll tell you the truth. If opportunities come, it's those who have their people at the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Exactly.
These are the people who get it. But the people in charge right now, the PAMSEC, the Honorable Minister, they're trying to make sure that it goes to the Nigerian youth who are qualified. The idea, for example, they brought up issue of some funds, how to access funds, but you have to bring a roadmap,
exactly,
your blueprint of what you are doing, what you want to do in your business. You must register. There was a time, even the federal government gave the youth freedom to, or just free registration of businesses. It happened, I think it stopped a few months ago.
Yes.
Now, so many youths didn't know about it. Those who even knew about it didn't key into it. That is that mistrust. They believe that, what are we even going to gain from this? The idea number one is orientation and reorientation, not just on television channels, because majority of them don't even watch TV. Some watch, some go on internet, but then even fraudsters have made it impossible also for some people to actually know the authentic information in social media.
However, there are also ways one can confirm. You can walk into that ministry that is directly affected or that is directly churning out this policy.
Then some of them who are not residing close to the ministry, what do? Now the idea is still go and sensitization to the grassroots. People from the local, you have your NOI, I think they have branches in local government. What do they do in local government? The truth about it is that I don't even know whether they exist in my own local government because they're not even...
You have never had the reason to try out.
Now, if they make their presence felt,
right,
the youths, they're close to them because local government is the closest tier of government to the people at the grassroots. Now, if they make their presence felt at the local government, then the youth could actually walk into the local government areas or even tell their councillors, please help us inquire. But when the government is just like centralized at the central or even at the state, an average Nigerian youth will be afraid to go to even the state capital to even make an inquiry. So the local government should be activated. The NOI should be able to make sure that we'll have a NOA, we'll have our agency activated and active in local government so that they'll be able to pass information to the grassroots. Now, please, the youth, this is no more this is no more that. That is what we'll do in those days, and we'll still do it in when we want to do some sensitization. We go on roadshow.
Right.
In local governments, you can chop out roadshow. That every local government, we mandate to carry out roadshow twice in a week for a period of 1 month. When they see it and hear it, it's something that will cost a little money. Fun for it to be mapped out, but the truth about it is that what it will gain at the end of it will be what the money spent. Go on roadshows, sensitize the youth. Okay, we are doing this. This is our website. So many Nigerian youths don't even know the website of how to the authentic websites of some of these things going on. Okay, the one or two persons, about 5 persons received message from Ministry of Youth and Sports that they have passed the first stage of one fund that the federal government is dishing out through the Ministry of Youth and Sports. They don't even believe in it. A few of them had to ask me, please, is this real? This message we got, because scammers can send messages. Any message that comes on now for empowerment, scammers will modify it and then try to send it out there. Now, I had to call the NSM desk officer.
The take home here is, I mean, we should make deliberate efforts to ensure
sensitization to the youth, and then the youth should also make their own deliberate effort to go and inquire. That handset you have is not for just WhatsApp. It's not just for watching what is trending. It's not just to cause mayhem. Okay, we have this problem. Let me even send fake news.
Exasperate fake news.
Yes, no, it's not for it. That handset should be to verify. In that handset is central bank. Inside that handset is billions of dollars. You can verify information from morning till night. Be checking opportunities. Oh, you can even Google www.youth funds. Then when you see some funds meant for youth or youth grant, you'll be able to say, okay, this is from this ministry, this is from this ministry. You can actually, sometimes you go to their website, the website of that ministry, and it's a matter of fact that you must know that any website that doesn't have a security, that doesn't start with a HTTPS, is not a secured website.
Yes.
It must, any website, any governmental website has that HTTPS.
Exactly.
The one that doesn't have that S after the P is not a secure website.
Right.
So if you check their website, okay, it's from the government, okay, you go down, scroll down, you must find contact. Write the mail or copy the number, call and make inquiry. Is this coming from you?
Honorable Nwadjofo, you work with the youth a lot in the movie industry, in the National Youth Council of Nigeria. You work with the youth a lot. I mean, you're a young person. Are you also concerned about the brain drain we often see our youth having to leave, skilled workers thinking of leaving the country, which is consequent to this mistrust that we had spoken about? We see them wanting to leave, not having much, what I would term nationhood or patriotism towards our country.
If I tell you I'm not concerned and worried about it, I should be lying. As a matter of fact, I lived outside Nigeria myself for a few years. I know what it means to be out there. If I give you some examples, you got shocked. One, while I was in Vietnam in 2008, I witnessed someone, not one, not two, about 3-4 persons, who sold land and properties worth of 800,000 as far back as 2008 to travel to Vietnam because they were brainwashed. When you get to Vietnam, it has a border with the United States of America. You can just stand by the train station. The train will cross and carry you. You see visa agents, travel agents. Or some of them have done mayhem to Nigerian youth. They will brainwash some of them. You will think that when you get to the streets of America, or when you get to the streets outside Nigeria, you begin to pluck money on the streets. I wouldn't say I was brainwashed because I was actually doing, when I was going to Vietnam, I was going there on business trip. I was importing clothes. I was dealing on clothes in those days. Now, after that, when those youths, like somebody told me he spent 800,000 to go to Vietnam in 2008, I told him, do you know that the money I came here for business with is just a little bit above that 800,000? Do you know that you can start good business with that 800,000 and you do well? That back in Nigeria, I was doing well in that 2008.
Exactly.
As somebody dealing on clothes. He was like, are you sure? Is it possible? I said, yeah, now you've stayed here for almost 1 year. What are you doing? Some of them...
And very often they don't have the
some of them
official
sleep in
papers
the church. Some of them are inside the cell because they don't have residential permit. They have overstayed their visa duration, and then they end up being taken by the immigration.
Not to mention they are now broke because they have sold all they have.
I said, when we enter restaurants in those days, the number of persons that will beg you for food, you begin to ask them. That gave me the opportunity to interact with them and ask them, why are you here? Why did you come if you'll be begging for food? That was 2008. In 2010, you asked me why I decided to leave Nigeria. That syndrome came on me also. I now found out why some Nigerians would also leave. I had to leave my shops. I had like 2 shops doing well. I had to leave it. Okay, I really want to, let me go and stay outside Nigeria and rest. I traveled and went to South America, and it wasn't easy in South America. I saw Nigerian youths wallowing in nothingness in the streets. They don't do nothing from morning till night. In South America, almost, I think 8 months after I came in there, I opened my travel agency. I love travel and tours. But then, do you know that a few Nigerians who were my friends had to travel from Ecuador by the road through the sea to get to Mexico? We lost about 2 persons who I know one-on-one. I knew him one-on-one in South America in those days. When they were traveling, some of them contacted me, oh, let's travel, let's go to America through the road. And I said, why? I have my office here. Why should I travel? If I'm done from here, I'll go back to Nigeria. Now, the truth about it is that as we speak now, some Nigerians are on the road through the desert.
Despite all the efforts of government to tell you how dangerous this is.
That syndrome is still there, that, oh, it is better out there. Nigerian youth, I'm telling you, it is not greener out there. However, I must be frank. Those who are talented, those who have so many talents, often have higher opportunity of making it outside Nigeria. But now in Nigeria, I assure you, you can still make it here. Right. Better you think you can make it outside there. We have instituted so many things. I started engaging in talent hunt. I'm the founder and the CEO of Face of Made in Nigeria. We engage in talent hunts. I've done Gwagwalada Got Talent. I've done Benue Youth Got Talent. I'm preparing for Nigeria Youth Got Talent.
So these
What would-
opportunities, how have they been able to actually engage youth? Because that is the problem we have. Our youth need to be as engaged as possible.
The entertainment industry is the highest employer of Nigerian youths. If you go to Nollywood industry, it's an industry that has employed millions of Nigerian youths, both in music, creativity, but whether in script writing, acting, directing, mention them. Makeup artists, they're all there. You call the directors, they're all there. You call cinematographers, they're all there. In Nollywood, the entertainment industry, there are so many sectors you can get yourself engaged.
Okay.
And that's what we do in the talent hunt. When we see your area of specialization, maybe area of interest, we'll pull you out. Get to one or two producers, my co-producers, I'm a movie producer, or a colleague in the industry. Please help us train these sets. After the training, in other words, it's an industry that you don't need fund to start. The highest you can need as a fund, if you are a makeup artist, just to buy the makeup kit, which is 25,000.
But this industry, is it not another opportunity for the Nigerian youths to get to know? It can be used to profile this good governance that we talk about, because it doesn't pay for any youth anywhere in the world to just be aloof from what government is doing. Is it not an opportunity?
The entertainment industry is also trying to talk, like on my own side, when I talk from my own experience. I've produced one or two clips trying to showcase opportunities, how you can maximize the government opportunities, the opportunities the government provide, how youth can maximize. We also call on the government at this also now that government can use entertainment industry to get the youths engaged more. Government can also use the entertainment industry to also showcase to the youth because an average Nigerian youth watches movies more than he reads books or more than even he listens to news. Now, you can engage the entertainment industry to chop out some clips on every policy you initiate. For example, if you're initiating the policy on any fund or on any grant, you can engage the entertainment industry. Please produce this clip for us.
Exactly.
Dish it out there at the social media. It will go viral. Normally, we will watch so many things. You can do it in terms of skit, which comes in comedy.
Things that subtle ways of putting it in there.
Yeah, it will go out there, and then the Nigerian youth will also watch. Oh, this is real. Oh, if this actor can talk about this, oh, it is real. Because the truth is also that these actors you see, so many of them control the minds of many Nigerian youth.
True.
Some of them begin to wear clothes because this actor is wearing it.
Screen.
Oh, he's my idol, he's my model. So whatever he chops out there, they believe in it. Nigerian government can maximize this to also bridge that gap between them and the Nigerian youth.
Okay, Honorable Wajofo, we'll go on a very short break right now. Now, when we return, we will talk about the traditional rulers among us. How can they help in ensuring there's that engagement and trust between the government and the Nigerian youth? We'll be back after this. Not yet. You should be also taking from there. You know, this is just...
Where you dey go with face mask inside this lockdown? You don't turn doctor abi na nurse.
I wan sharparly enter market to make a for buy food stuff for my family.
With face mask?
See you, face masks wey dem use cloth make like this one wey I wear so. Na extra way for person to protect himself from to catch coronavirus. The one wey they use so, no be the medical masks wey doctors dem dey use. People need to wear face masks if they won't go anywhere where plenty people dey. Those people sef wey no dey feel fine, and even those people wey dey cough abi na sneeze, they need to still wear the face mask to protect themselves and the people wey dey around them.
So wait, e mean say because you dey use face mask, you no go come dey do other things wey they say make we dey do to protect ourselves, abi?
No, so they wear only face mask no go protect us from the virus. We must still give physical distancing. We must to wash our hand. We must to cover our mouth anytime when we won't cough or sneeze, and we must to clean all the places where we dey touch every time.
To dey wear only face mask, no dey protect person from to catch coronavirus.
This message now from the Federal and State Ministries of Health, Ministry of Information, NCDC, and them partners them.
Thanks Thanks for staying with us. This is still the round table where we are discussing effective engagement to build trust between the government and the Nigerian youth with Honorable Ricky Nwajofor. Like I said earlier, he's the Honorable Speaker of Ndigbo Youth Parliament. He's also the Secretary General National Youth Council of Nigeria. Now we have discussed how Nigerian youth can make deliberate efforts to ensure they know what the government is doing. Now, what are the role of traditional rulers in all of this?
As you see me wear, whatever you see me wear, I am a titled man.
Exactly.
I love my culture, so I'm close to traditional rulers. The traditional rulers can help the government in so many ways. Aside the local government, which I said is the closest tier of governments to the grassroots, the traditional rulers, if co-opted by governments, working close with the traditional rulers, they are the closest authority to the people because they are instituted authority. In those days are gone. In those days, you know, as a traditional ruler, before you become a traditional ruler, traditional things are done. Exactly. Government doesn't interfere. I know these days, before you become a traditional ruler, you must have certificate from the government, which means government acknowledges you existing. Right. Now, after that acknowledgement, government should use that opportunity, maximize that opportunity. You've instituted an authority. That's what it means. You've instituted or you've collaborated in instituting an authority in a community. He becomes, a traditional ruler becomes the eye of the government in that community. Now, if you have anything that has to do with the youth positively, how to engage the youth, straight away to traditional rulers. Every state should have the catalog of traditional rulers in the state.
Do you think they still have that influence on the people? Has the internet-centric world made it such that Nigerians do no longer have that influence, or rather, traditional rulers no longer have the influence on young people? Whether
you travel abroad and come back, you must acknowledge the presence of your. If in my own Igbo-speaking states, you are Igwe or you are Eze, which is the traditional ruler. You don't have any reason to disrespect his orders. So whatever he gives as an instruction is what happens in the community in collaboration with his cabinet. So they still listen to the traditional rulers in my own Igbo-speaking states. Now, if government is able to liaise with them, that whatever they do, we'll have what we call Igwe in council. And we'll have the Council of Traditional Rulers. I think it's still in existence. But I don't know how much and how far the government maximizes that opportunity. Because they are the direct authority to the people. Now, we are we have a grant for Nigerian youths. Every traditional ruler, please make sure and verify and make sure that your youths are aware of this. In my own community, we have town criers. A town crier can go around and begin to announce it. There is so opportunity. If you want to know about it more, go to Igwe's palace. The government can print out those flyers and keep at the palace. Now, there is no information you get from Igwe's palace and you begin to doubt it.
Of course, because you trust the Igwe.
You trust the king, you trust the Igwe.
And you agree that we still have that trust between the citizens and the subject and
yeah, I speak from my own side. I also speak from the first-hand experience with people like Oni of Ife, because I had time to interact with him. We've done, when we did our International Youth Day, we had enough time to interact with him for days. So he still wields that influence. So there are so many, even if we don't get up to 60, 70 of the traditional rulers who will influence. The ones we have, if we get up to 70%, 60, right. 70%, and then they're able to wield influence and get the youths close to the government and get the youths trust the government, then the government has won the battle. You don't expect, there is never a day it will happen that 100% of Nigerian youth will trust the government. But if you're able to work with these ones that you know that their citizens trust or their subjects trust so much, pass information through them, print flyers, send them, call them immediately. Oh, Your Royal Majesty, we'll have to say, so we're coming to see you, or we'll brief you on this. Brief the Igwe and the Igwe in the council, brief the Oni and the council people, and they tell them this is this. They disseminate the information immediately, and the people trust them, and they believe in that.
Okay.
So they have good role to play in that.
Okay.
And if government can maximize it, it will go a long way.
Let me quickly open phone lines, as I'm sure a lot of people would like to contribute to the conversation today. 09057408127. 09057408127. Remember, when you call, move away from your radio or television set, or just turn it down so we can communicate better. So I've never heard about the Ndigbo Youth Parliament. Does it wield that much? Okay, we have a caller. We might go back to that conversation. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
My name is Michael. My name is Michael. It's single soup. That's why I went to
Michael, we are struggling to hear you.
It's going to be the president of this country. He has wisdom.
Right.
God thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think Michael thinks you should vie for president of Nigeria. But let's move back to the
Ndigbo
Youth Parliament.
Yeah, Ndigbo Youth Parliament came into existence late last year.
Right.
We actually got inaugurated early this year. But within the space of 2 months, we've occupied...
You might still have to hold your thought. We have another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Please speak up so we can hear you clearly. What's your name and where are you calling us from? Hello. Okay, we lost that caller. 09057408127. Back to Ndigbo Youth Parliament.
So we got inaugurated early this year, and within the space of 2 months, we've actually occupied the media space, and then we've done our best. And then our website is there, ndigboyouthparliaments.org.ng. You can go to know much about us.
Does it have the conventional assembly that does it have state representatives?
It's like a replica of every parliament. In the Ndigbo Youth Parliament has 6 representatives from every state.
Right.
2 representatives from every constituency. And then Ndigbo Youth Parliament covers the 5 eastern states, and then the Igbo-speaking communities in Delta and River State. So we'll have 3 representatives coming from River States, and we'll have 3 representatives coming from Delta States.
Wow,
and
okay.
then the other Igbo
hold your thought as we have another caller. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Elder Noja is my name.
Elder Noja, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling you from Cuba.
Elder Noja from Cuba, go ahead.
Yes, the man is taking, the man there has speak well.
Thank you.
Needs some points there. You see, the government has intention, and then government has intention to do something for you. But the handler, the people they handle, they are the people taking a youth away, preventing you not to accept a government policy or government program or to accept it. Let me give you an example where there's COVID-19. The politics, when they see the way they get the politics, you scare many people out.
Elder Noja, are you there? Okay, we lost that caller. I'm not sure why. It would have been nice to hear what he had to say. He was talking about the COVID-19 that paid a lot of people. I'm sure he wanted to also talk about how a lot of people did not. Hello.
Hello,
good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm very fine, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Dino. I'm calling from Itama.
Okay, Dino from Maitama. Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to commend your guest today. I think it's Wabofo.
Yeah. Wabofo, yes.
Yeah, Wabofo. He's doing a very great job. Yeah, he has clearly identified the major problem, communication. And I think I hope the right people are listening to this. Okay, and if there's also a way for there to be inclusive leadership,
at every level of government. Having youth representatives, even at the level of traditional rulers, maybe have their council in chief when they're sitting to have meetings. If there's a way to get youth representation also, and generally, if interventions can be turned out for interventions that are not knee-jerk interventions, but are actually programs that are centered on getting youth on improving their socio-economic status. I think it's also a good idea. For instance, at the political realm, it's not just enough to say it can come out, and there's also the need for that deliberate action by people that are on top there.
Right.
To make the atmosphere conducive for youth to come out and compete for political position. I don't know if it should be a good place to say there should be some kind of law to say a percentage of people in EXCO should be youth of a particular age. And there should be a need to even define what youth are.
Okay. Okay, Dino, thank you so much for your contribution. Yes, thank you. Okay.
He spoke very well, and then there's a point he raised, which I wanted to raise last before we conclude. One of the ways government can also build that trust is by also appointing youths in key positions. The idea that we are sensitizing Nigerian youth, especially under Ndigbo Youth Parliament, one of our objectives is to sensitize the Ndigbo youth to participate in politics actively. Right. Make sure you have your PVC. Anytime the INEC is about to roll out PVC registration, we'll go around the states and the communities of Ndigbo to sensitize them to make sure that 80%, if not up to 90%,
we have
their PVC.
We have another caller. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Mazi.
Mazi, you might have to speak up. I didn't get your other names. Are you there? Hello. Okay, we lost that caller. 09057408127. 09057408127.
So, if Nigerian youths are able to secure PVC, this PVC helps you to vote in credible persons into elective positions. And then if they don't do well, if they don't fulfill their mandates, in the next 4 years, vote them out. I always tell people, whoever is in government, support the person, because it's not easy to be in the government.
Right.
But then if the person is not fulfilling the promises as promised,
considering resources
make sure
available.
Also
considering resources
available. Make sure also you are not bought over during that election. Because if you are bought over, if you are giving 5,000, 10,000, 2,000 to vote,
you don't have the conscience,
no
exactly.
moral right to criticize the person because you've collected your own quota. For you, that is your own porridge. The Esau and Jacob's porridge, you've collected your own porridge. But if you never collected a bribe and you voted the person from your conscience, I don't believe in the fact that it must be outside Yoruba, Igbo. Give us credible person.
Okay.
Vote
With your thought, we still have another caller. Hello. Hello, are you there? Hello.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Mazi Chuku.
Okay, I could hear Mazi Chuku 1. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to comment on Ricky. And Ricky, you're not going to answer the chat this morning.
Good morning.
Please go ahead with your contribution. Okay, that's probably a fan who wants to reach out to you.
You know, if at the end of the day you didn't collect anything to vote and you voted credible person, after the 4 years and the person didn't do well, judging from resources available, that what you expected that the person should have done, in the next election, vote the person out. If you do that within 3-4 years, 3-4 dispensations, you find out that before the 5th one, Nigeria would have got it better. It's not all about...
So what's your response to people who say Nigerian youth are just not interested? Okay, we have another caller. Hello.
Hello, Elder Noja again.
Elder Noja, please go ahead. I didn't get the end of your conversation.
Yes, what I was saying, the government have intentions and then government has used many programs out. But the handlers, the way they are handled is very, very wrong. And then that's why you see youth, they don't trust government. Let me give you an example of COVID-19 palliative.
Okay.
When they share palliative, they share it to individuals. The same people they share to themselves, the same people they share to them to take on. People complain bitterly by that time. The government don't take any action. And then two, that loan where you say they give during COVID-19, they only give to party members. They only give to people, party members, support the government in the power, with the state or in the or in the federation. The other youth, they are there. They are down. Let me give you an example.
Do you have evidence to that palliative being given to party members?
I have standing there. I have standing many times in Abuja here. Even in Abuja here, many places they complain. Go back to Gogo and Gogo Itasi. Many people complain. So it's not a hidden agenda or hidden thing. And then two, let's say if the government give me something 100 to go and give to you, and then youth came about 1,000 people, and then I choose 100 out. What am I going to do to the 900 youth there? I have to address them, and then I have to take their name down. If there's anything from government again, I have to follow that list. So you see that it goes down to you. But you bring something today, you share to some group of people, and then tomorrow, if you are coming, the same group of people you are going to share to them. That's why youth in Nigeria complain bitterly.
Okay.
If not so, the government is power.
Okay.
I see they bring more different program for youth.
Right.
But it's not reach the youth because anger.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your contribution.
Actually,
Well, he blames it on handlers.
The truth also, the COVID-19 stuff, the Minister of Humanitarian,
and
she was too certain that I spent this amount of money in palliatives. But you see what happened during the
distributed them to states.
But she is not the person to go and distribute to the grassroots. She did what she was supposed to do, shared responsibility. But unfortunately, also the middlemen, which is the problem of Nigeria, middlemen. That's why I suggested the fact of if they can use traditional rulers directly, these are the people they know that know people down the grassroots. And then they can hold them responsible. There is no gainsaying in the fact also that there are some bad traditional rulers. We cannot remove that fact. Some selfish ones. But in out of 100 and you have 60, 70 good ones, you can continue. You can get it 100%. We can see the videos are still there in the social media of what happened during the exercise where people broke into.
Okay, we have another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Ndigbo. My name is Adebayo.
Adebayo, go ahead.
Yeah, I, for a person, would really commend the effort of the program, but the youth and the government, they are two separate people. And I think now the youth don't really even need the government to help us for anything. Because we are very hardworking, as you can see, we are feeding ourselves, we are getting to do businesses. Almost we want from the government is to give us good governance, put good roads in place, give us life, let there be security, and so on. We the youth, we are good to go.
Right.
Seriously, we are good to go. So that's just my contribution.
Thank you, Adebayo.
Yeah.
Okay. Fix social amenities and the trust would be strengthened.
It's also I know the government is doing their best, but the truth about it also the issue of insecurity has to be addressed.
Exactly.
Because if you're doing a business by yourself, you say, okay, government, okay, count me off from your own side. I can take care of myself. Let me do business. Give palliatives to other people.
Let's quickly talk to this caller. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, yeah.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
Calling from
I didn't get that. Please say it again.
I'm calling from Goma.
Local Goma. What's your name, please? Okay, I think we lost that caller. 09057408127. We're running
So,
out of time, so if I have to ask you to speak to the youth listening to you directly right now, what would you say concerning trust, the trust deficit?
Nigerian youth will have to key into so many programs that the government has chopped out for the betterment of Nigerian youth. Key into politics also. Go and get registered in any political party of your choice. If you are not there, you cannot get involved. You must get involved. I'm not advocating for any political party, any one of your choice. Key into it. Make sure you have your voter's card. The truth also is that if we all could come into the mainstream of politics, we can influence so many things. We also ask the government, give Nigerian youth opportunities to also hold some political offices. I used to give an example of, if, for example, if government or the president appoints a minister, an elderly man, Minister of State should be a youth.
Right.
Under him, trying to learn. In some parastatals also, give the directors, the ES, executive director, executive secretary, the ED, give them to youths. They will learn the ropes from there on how to handle it. You don't say, oh, they have not learned, they don't know how to. If they don't learn the ropes, they cannot replace the elders when they exit the stage. How do we learn? We learn by doing. Involve the youths, give youth appointments, bring them close. Then Nigerian youth, if you are giving an appointment, please, it is not for yourself, selfish aggrandizement or self-aggrandizement. It's not for your personal use. It's not a time for you to go and amass wealth and build estates. It's for the betterment of the society and other Nigerian youth. Some who have occupied elective positions, who are youths, have also disappointed the Nigerian youths. It is an opportunity for you to prove. I listened to an engineer the other day saying that it's not about Nigerian youths clamoring to take position. That some Nigerian youths who have taken elected positions have not done well. They have disappointed the populace. But he cannot talk about that because out of 100, 5 or 10 he didn't do well. He said Nigerian is a fallacy of overgeneralization. He committed a fallacy there. I'm also begging those ones who have had the opportunity to get there. Don't disappoint us. Anything you do, it will be referred to Nigerian youths have done this, or we are not capable. We are more than capable. In the whole world, I can beat my chest. In the countries I've traveled, Nigerian youths are the best. We have what it takes. We are too resilient. So many things that have happened, Nigerian youths are still committed, resilient to stay in the country to do their business on their own.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Honorable Ricky. You have spoken well. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, and we'll call you again to probably discuss another issue. I know you're really passionate about the Nigerian youth.
Anytime you come, anything that has to do with the youth, I'm there. And then if you want to know more about Ndigbo Youth Parliament, you can go on our website also and know about Ndigbo Youth Parliament.
That has been Honorable Ricky Nwajofor, the Honorable Speaker of Ndigbo Youth Parliament and the Secretary General National Youth Council of Nigeria. We have had a wonderful conversation discussing the effective engagement to build trust between Nigerian youth and the government. Until tomorrow when the roundtable continues, my name is Joy Radimini Asanya. Remember, coronavirus is still with us. Use your hand sanitizers, wash your hands regularly, and maintain social distancing. Have a wonderful day.